Hi, my name is Andy, and I am the Diabetes Tour Guide. I have lived with type 1 diabetes for over 19 years, and I also practice as a physician assistant, so I know that diabetes can be a lot of different things, just like medicine can be a lot of different things. So we need a tour guide to help us along the way. We're going to do a little bit of a detour from our normal episodes of explanations of what diabetes is, the ins and outs, and even a little bit of a detour from our interview episodes. We're going to get into some hands-on material if you can see some of this stuff. Today, I wanted just to give one quick tip, one quick diabetes tip. So I've been traveling a lot recently. I've been different places in the state. I've been up to New York. Recently, I've been to Europe. And so travel is a big thing. And I wanted to give one tip of we're not really going to go over international travel today or traveling through airports. That will come in future episodes. But a tip on traveling and how to travel well with diabetes is to always carry backups. I have been in places. I'll tell you a little story. I went on a bachelor trip out in Scottsdale, Arizona. We were going for a golf trip. And I brought extra pods with me, and I'm going to show you what a pod looks like. So I wear something called Omnipod. So this is an Omnipod 5. It looks like a little Chick-fil-A packet, and the Chick-fil-A packet just sits on your arm like this and gives you insulin 24/7. We're going to have future episodes about what pumps are and basal bolus therapy, but this is continuous infusion, or CI. So when I went to Scottsdale, I did bring backups. I brought 2 backups, actually. And so when I got there, my first pump was ready to be changed out. These have to be changed every 3 days. So I change it out. It malfunctions that night. So I think, okay, I got a backup. So I did the backup again. That one malfunctioned in the morning. So I am stuck with very, very little insulin out of a vial, this is the insulin I use, which is Fiasp. Very little insulin, and I had 2.5 more days in this trip, and I had no long-acting insulin, which this is another vial that I use called Tresiba. This is long-acting. So whenever you don't have a pump on, pumps give you insulin 24/7. When this is gone, you don't have insulin. So I'm stuck out in the middle of Arizona with no insulin and no backups. So my tip for you today is to always bring backups, especially for pump therapy. So let's say I just took a little trip to Knoxville. I'm going to stay there for a couple nights. I will bring a backup pump with the insulin that goes with the pump, but I also bring a backup vial that has long-acting insulin, and I also bring a modality to inject. Did I use any of this stuff while I was there? Absolutely not. But did I have it just in case? I went to New York last weekend. And when I went to New York, did I do the same thing? Yes, because you don't want to be stuck in New York without any insulin. Things that you can do if you do get stuck with somewhere without insulin, so you can actually go to a pharmacy and tell them that you do not have insulin. There is a form that you can fill out where they actually give you syringes and vials of insulin. It's not the best insulin, but they at least give it to you. I feel very lucky because I do have a prescribing number, and I have a lot of friends that have prescribing numbers. So out in Arizona, I'm very thankful for my friends for calling in some insulin for me to refill this stuff. But I didn't have pump supplies there, so I had to switch to basal bolus. So big tip, even for those of you who do not have diabetes and you just know people with diabetes, is make sure they bring backups on a trip, and not just backup pumps, backup supplies in case the pump fails. That's huge. You're going to save yourself a lot of trouble. There are ways to help if you don't, but I'm telling you, I will never leave without backups again. That was our tip for the day. I hope that detour was a little fun for you and a little bit different. Join us next week, because next week we're going to go into our grab bag, and we're going to look at what we call Mary Poppins' carpet bag full of insulin stuff that Andy's had for about 19 years. And I'm just going to blindly go in and start telling you about the stuff that I've collected. This is almost like a museum. As always, thank you for joining me. There are a lot of stops along the tour for diabetes, and we're going to keep this podcast going until there is a cure. So hopefully that's next week and you'll never see me again. I'm kidding. But have a great one. We'll join you next time.